podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Hate saying the words international break this early in the season. It's just not right.
It's every season though, isn't it? It is. It's all the momentum you gather, it goes away. So we're there. We don't have a game next week.
No game.
We do. Stoke, isn't it?
No, Stoke is the weekend. Stoke is the 9th. Next weekend is the 2nd and the 3rd.
Right.
Yeah. So no, we do not have to play Stoke City. We don't have to go to a cold, wet and windy, etc. Until Saturday evening on the 9th. Before that, an international break. I guess after the international break, perhaps before we look back at the game that's just been, after the international break and after the Stoke game, we'll be in a run of 2 games a week because the Champions League will be back.
Oh yeah.
The draws happened since we last met, and almost to the letter what United would have wanted, although we have struggled in groups like this before.
Well, yeah, and Mourinho tried to play down that kind of assessment that it would be easy. So he talked about not being able to beat Basel last time, or in fact Benfica or Moscow. I think we won 1-0 against Moscow last time. So yeah, look, it's Benfica, the best team in the group according to UEFA, ranked 10th at the moment. United are 15th, just for comparison. So that's over a 5-year ranking though. So I'm always kind of I understand how these they model the coefficients, but what you did 5 years ago pretty much has no relevance to your quality today, does it? Most teams will swap out a whole team in 5 years. Anyway, so Benfica 10th, United 15th, Basel 20-something, and CSKA Moscow in 50-something place. So, as you said, a group that United would be happy with, apart from the long travel to Moscow.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the long travel to Moscow is the one big negative, but you take one long travel to get Benfica out of pot 1, don't you? Because, of course, the coefficient thing, it doesn't so much matter where the team is in relation to United so much as it matters where they are in relation to the other teams in pot 1. And there were some real big names in that segment.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, sorry, Tom. I suddenly got a frog in my throat. Another way of putting that is to say that United really must qualify out this group and would kind of expect to win it.
Yeah, absolutely. And when Mourinho says it's not easy, he wants to sort of play down the notion that it's an easy group. I think to an extent that's fair enough. You could say that really easy groups don't exist in the Champions League. But if you take it as read that actually easy groups kind of do exist in the Champions League, or at least certainly it's fair to say that easier groups exist in the Champions League, then United have definitely got a relatively favourable draw. Having said all that, of course, that is based largely in prejudice and ignorance, because I actually don't know anything about the specifics of Benfica, Basel or CSKA in Moscow.
Are we calling them Basel, are we?
I don't know. FC Basel, as Gary Neville famously called them once.
The other good thing is that the away game in Moscow actually falls before a home game against Crystal Palace. So at least some of these games aren't sandwiched between City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, so on.
Yeah, I think there's like when you look at the list of the games immediately before and after that, there really aren't too many games that would be kind of classed as United's bigger fixtures this season.
No, so the home game against CSKA, the last game of the group, hopefully it's not crucial by then. United, it is sandwiched between Arsenal, so I take back my previous comment on for this game. So the 2nd December is the away at Arsenal, the 5th is the Moscow game at Old Trafford, and then there's away to City, home to City the following weekend. So, that could be a really crucial week, early December. But only really, really crucial if United's group's gone a bit tits up by then.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, you're going to have to play difficult games at some point. So the fact that is Moscow at home rather than Moscow away is light years of difference, isn't it? Or thousands of miles of difference at least.
All right. Well, before each of those games, we'll have thoroughly researched the opposition and, like the football hipsters that we are, we know absolutely everything about Swiss, Portuguese, and Russian football. Right?
Okay, great. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. If anyone can tell us anything about those teams, you watch them regularly, get in touch. Let us know. The more prosaic matter of the Premier League continued apace. Manchester United now played 3, scored 10, conceded none. 2-0, never in doubt.
No, I mean, never in doubt. Other than that, maybe United wouldn't score. It took a long time to come, didn't it? And for all the possession and then actually a lot of good intensity for the first half. I thought the goal just didn't come. Although there was an awful lot of long-range shooting, mainly from Paul Pogba, who decided he single-handedly needed to win the game.
You see, I don't think I would necessarily agree with that analysis. I think there's an element of tactics to that too, which is that he's kind of, because his shooting was like initially when he clearly was feeling his oats, and there was a couple that I think the first 2 he hit from long range went really close, and it shifted the way Leicester had to defend. So they had to come out a little bit more to kind of try and close down his shooting a bit, which I think he was trying to rope-a-dope him into coming for him a bit and open up some passing lanes.
Sure. Yeah. That's a nicely rose-tinted view of it. But, and look, it's anyway, I think it's more shots you take, the more you tend to score. Honestly, it's like to be really reductive about all the hours and hours of analysis that people do. But it is true. And I think Pogba's long-range shooting is good, if a little wayward yesterday. But anyway, I thought United were very good in the first half. Really solid defensively. Nothing. Leicester, no real chances for Leicester. The one criticism would be that quite a lot of aimless balls from wide areas, and come back to that. I guess that will reinforce Mourinho's view that he wants a better delivery from wide areas, and particularly wants a left-sided player. But some good passing through the middle from Mkhitaryan, who was all right. Perhaps not his best game for United, although he comes away with an assist, of course. Mata, who had a reasonably quiet game, but sort of Martial, Matic and Pogba completely dominated midfield and took the attack to Leicester for that first 45 or so.
Yeah, I was particularly impressed by Martial and Pogba, which might just be French-tinted spectacles. But it was really notable that basically my memory of this game is just looking out over the Old Trafford pitch and seeing Martial surrounded by 5 Leicester defenders, kind of sort of facing up to the front. The first couple of those getting past him and sometimes getting the ball taken off him by the 3rd or 4th man, which of course opens up space for other people. But it didn't quite come off. But that Mata chance, was that offside? I've seen it back. It looked super close.
Oh. I mean, his hand was offside, but that's not offside because it has to be a part of the body you can score with. I mean, there's maybe a toe, maybe his little pinky toe. It was so tight. I mean, of course, Fellaini was offside for his goal.
Yeah, that one was not so tight, right?
So maybe justice was done in some kind of weird way.
The Mata thing, it's one of those, a bit like the Lacazette one last weekend, where it's fine, even if like you forensically analyse it and go, yep, actually he was minutely offside by centimetres. The linesman has clearly got the decision, kind of just guessed at the decision and hoped for the best, sort of thing. Seen his positioning a split second later, because it really was only a split second later that he was way offside. But yeah, it was a shame that was chalked off, because I think the game would have been very different. And, then the only time I was really worried was in the sort of 2 or 3 minutes after Lukaku missed his penalty. Leicester had a little attack or two in that time. I was just thinking, oh no, I've seen this movie before. But the script really does seem to have been rewritten at Old Trafford this season, because Leicester were pretty decent opposition and they defended very deep in numbers, and our primary strategy, which was crossing the ball, was remarkably ineffective. You were saying like Mourinho wants better delivery from wide areas, but this is like it's kind of an issue, isn't it? Because it was the fullbacks that were the problem delivery-wise. I didn't think the left side was really even as much of a problem as the right, because Blint seemed to be backed up by Martial a bit more. Valencia was often like the ball was slipped through to Valencia in loads of space and the crowd started getting super excited, but then Valencia would put his... he was definitely in cross the ball to the fullback shins mode yesterday, wasn't he?
Yeah, pretty poor delivery. And I don't think that's the case every week with Valencia. Blint, the problem with him at left back, I mean, it's easily his best position for United. And he did fine, and he's pretty solid defensively there. He's just not that athletic, so he's never going to stretch the opposition's fullbacks in the same way that Valencia might be able to do. He just doesn't get up and down the pitch in the same way. I'm a little surprised that Mourinho hasn't truly tried to get a left back in this summer. Maybe he actually believes in Luke Shaw now. Who knows?
I mean, he said all the messaging is that he does, and you could say, okay, that's just messaging, but it is also backed up by his actions in not getting one in, isn't it? Because I tell you, that team did really look like it was kind of crying out for a Luke Shaw type at left back yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly, given United's forwards do tend to come inside, if you're going to play Mata and Martial on right and left, then they're always going to tuck inside. Martial can beat a man on the outside, but his preference is to cut in and shoot. So the width comes from the fullbacks. And if that's easier to defend against, then you're going to score less goals like that. And, perhaps you put in crosses from deeper, straighter areas, which seemed to happen quite a lot yesterday. Anyway, goal came in the end, though, didn't it?
It certainly did. From if the right one don't get you, the left one will, Ed. You play Rashford, exhaust the defenders, bring on Martial, he scores. Play Martial, exhaust the defenders, bring on Rashford, he scores. Beautiful.
It's like a job share at the moment. I mean, I thought...
Except they were both on the pitch for the Rashford didn't come on.
No, I know he came on for Mata, which was good because I think quite a lot of last season Mourinho might have gone for like. But he's clearly feeling more confident, I think. I mean, he did bring Fellaini on, and there's always some danger in that, isn't there? And Fellaini gets his inevitable flaky goal.
Danger to the opposition, pal.
Normally a danger to United's ability to pass the ball in midfield. But it's interesting that Martial came on for Rashford came on for Mata. Really, left United with a lot of pace in attack. And I thought, look, we talked last week about Martial, whether he really deserved a chance, and I thought he did, and I thought he took it. I thought it was, not everything came off for him, but I thought it was very positive. Ran at Simpson constantly, always looking to come inside. Didn't get the goal, but did plenty, I think, to sort of justify his selection.
I completely agree, and he just looks like such a threat whenever he's on the ball. Like, obviously not everything comes off because he's trying stuff at a really high level, but he really did look like a threat. Unfortunate for Lukaku to miss the penalty, but didn't look like it got to him too badly, although clearly he was, frustrated and maybe a bit worried that he'd cost the team such a big opportunity at that point. And, it is all very fresh, United's current position, isn't it? So, it would have felt kind of a bit dodgy, I'm sure, to all of them. But the goal came from a set piece. Again, that's 3 games in a row, 3 set pieces scored. And I think that's the second out of those games where the first goal has been a set piece as well, which is, I think I said this last week, but for me, this is one of the most important and exciting things about the team so far, because the one thing you need opposition players to know is that if they sit back and defend, well, obviously they're going to concede set pieces, but United can score from them. Although, it has to be said, a healthy assist from a Leicester defence that was otherwise very well organised, but they just didn't pick Rashford up at all.
Well, Rashford didn't even move. It wasn't even like smart movement from the play, just stood still and basically hit him. So on the penalty, Lukaku's missed 3 out of his last 6 penalties and they all went the same way. He did kind of signal it. I have to say, when it went and his run up, he's coming in quite straight. It looks like he's going to open his body up and go to the keeper's right. Should have been taken again, though. Schmeichel was a yard and a half off his line before the kick was taken.
Yeah, absolutely. Outrageous behaviour.
Outrage, disgusting. Yeah, worst refereeing decision of the of the weekend. Well, aside from the one where a City team jumped into the crowd and should all have been booked, not just the goal scorer.
I couldn't believe the match of the day coverage of that. When Shearer was absolutely losing run of himself and he says, he scored a winner in the last minute. What do they want him to do? Collect his thoughts, pick up the ball and walk back to the halfway line? No, Alan. They just don't want him to shove through a load of stewards to jump into a very ferociously active crowd, causing genuinely, like, so many over-celebration decisions are stupid. But this one was like a legitimate public safety issue. Anyway.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah, should have sent them all off. Anyway, yeah, back to United. Good first goal from Rashford. Nice clean hit. If some dodgy defending, they're just picking up the big guys, weren't they? And left the little man all on his own. And then
nice corner from Mkhitaryan as well. That's
struck that pretty sweetly. Didn't hit the first man, which is a bonus.
There was a lot.
I'm not sure too many of the corners from the other side were as consistently good, weren't they? So Rashford took a couple and Blint took quite a few.
Martial took one. I was just looking at him going, what are you doing? It was quite late on. It was before we scored, I think. It's like, what are you doing? Let someone else take it. I know we're in a bit of a hurry, but come on. Get yourself in the middle, son.
And then there was Fellaini's goal.
Yes! Marwa Fellaini.
And he's so big that it's like stealth. The linesman can't see him when he's about 4 yards offside.
He was only a little bit offside because of the not the defender by him, but the other guy was kind of almost playing him onside. Lingard did so well because it looked like the chance had gone. It looked like he'd kind of blown his chance, and then. But then he kind of waited and picked out the outside of Fellaini's knee. When I
and an absolute precision cross that was to the outside of Fellaini's knee.
When I saw it in real time, I thought that Fellaini had done a kind of Zidane-style flick with, his back leg going behind him to knock it in, and I laughed when I saw the replay. It's like no, he jabbed it in with the outside of his knee. Beautiful.
They all count.
They certainly do. Well, Fellaini has and will again come in for plenty of attention on this programme, and not all of it positive, but there is no doubt that he has a unique set of skills.
Yeah, I think I call him a special teams player, and that's his usefulness. My massive problem with Fellaini is when he spends any kind of playing time in central midfield, and it just destroys all of United's fluency. If he's going to come on and he's going to be a big man to launch it to and cause some trouble as a one-off tactic, okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Mind you, he's got his one goal for the season now.
Does that mean Lingard's got one of his 3 assists or whatever it is?
Yeah, that's right.
We had a question actually about that from @SeanKDLA, who says, was that the Fellainiest goal he'll ever score? And the answer to that, Sean, is, my goodness, people have short memories. Bournemouth away, the Christmas before last, 2 steps on his knees, jabs out a ball and jabs out a leg and scores. There will never be a Fellainier goal than that.
Very good. Well, look, momentum retained, 3 wins on the bounce, top of the league. We're going to stay there all season, right?
Who knows? I guess if you look at what could go wrong with this team, well, Phil Jones, who, by the way, we should definitely mention, because a really, really assured, superb performance from Jones. Did so much right yesterday.
Yeah, him and Bailly look like a very, very nice central defensive partnership, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. But presumably that will be a partnership that lasts another 3 games before Jones is out for 6 months. But we have got plenty of cover in that spot, so we can probably just about afford to lose him, even though...
Yeah, but, the challenge is the cover is Lindelof, who isn't ready yet, according to Mourinho, so he'll be playing reserve team football for the next 6 months or so. Smalling, who's in a horrible rut of form.
Yeah.
Lasting 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, bar one calendar year.
Bar the one good year, which now appears to be a blip. And Marcos Rocco's not coming back before December,
No.
Mourinho said in his press conference this weekend. And that's it. Maybe we should put in a bid for Johnny Evans.
We should put in a bid for Johnny Evans. #Pep knows. Although Pep, man, what is up with Pep Guardiola? He is not a happy man at the moment. He looks like a man on the edge. He really does. Another thing, another player that we brought in who could, in a pinch, play backup centre back, at least on corners. Hashtag Zlat back, Ed.
Yeah. We haven't talked about this yet. So he's officially signed. I still can't work out what the contract is. They're calling it a 1-year contract, but I'm going to assume it doesn't go through to August next year. We are still in August, right? So it'll end in June. I guess probably backdated to the summer. But he's, as a show of commitment, he's taken, it seems, a very large wage cut. And Mourinho talked about him being an extra body, and so they could swap out Lukaku and Rashford, and I actually didn't mention Martial as a striking option, which might tell you something. Sees him as an extra man, which is good. And I think that's that it makes absolute total sense if the money is right to get I was going to call him Zidane then. Get Zlatan back for a year. His experience, his sort of bravado and confidence seems to resonate through the squad, and he'll create an extra body who can score some goals, I'm sure, in the second half of the season.
And we just play Lukaku in all the small games, Zlatan in all the big games, and they that works for both of them. I don't actually think that, but I mean, I guess what will happen if it isn't just a question of squad rotation and games in which he genuinely wants to rest Lukaku and plays Zlatan up front, which I don't think any of us are probably too excited about seeing that. But you could rest Mata and Mkhitaryan and play Zlatan at number 10 with Lukaku up front, because I think Zlatan and Lukaku in the same team is probably going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah. Anyway, I can't see any downsides to this. The negative from a tactical sense is that we have seen United evolve over the first 4 games of this season into a much more dynamic team than for most of or any period since Ferguson's retirement, and we wouldn't want to lose that. And Zlatan being in the team as a focal point at number 9 would definitely slow down United's attacks. But I feel much more comfortable that Mourinho sees him as a kind of another option. Not going straight in at number 10 and doing something weird with number 9 and doing something weird with Lukaku. So I think we're good. I think it'll add extra firepower in the second half of the season, and then Antoine Griezmann will be coming next summer anyway, and for the bargain price of 100 million, which will be a bargain by then, and we'll all be good.
As someone said on Twitter, in today's market, 75 million for Lukaku looks like amazing value. Because so much has changed since the beginning of the summer.
Oh, I bet, especially if Barcelona spunk 140 million on Coutinho.
That transfer is that transfer will be one of the worst transfers ever, value-wise. Not that I think Coutinho is bad. I think Coutinho is fine, but it's just that would be a super, super, super weird transfer if it happened for that price. So, what do you think of where we are, how we've started the season, and can we start to say, actually, this is looking like something which could be the pattern of the season, or is it just all way too early for that?
Look, it's way too early in the sense that United haven't played anyone of any quality, apart from Real Madrid. And
Leicester are all right.
Yeah, no, and they gave United a good side, but they'll finish mid-table this season, Leicester, I think. I mean, they're back to old Leicester, aren't they? They're going to play quite direct football and be compact, and rely on the pace of Jamie Vardy. So they'll win a decent amount of games and finish sort of mid-table-ish. So a decent side. West Ham are plummeting. I mean, has Bilic been sacked yet? Because if he hasn't, it's going to be soon, isn't it? And Swansea, well, they're pretty desperately terrible. So, I don't think we know anything about the future of the season. What we do know, though, through the pre-season and the Super Cup and the first 3 Premier League games, is that Mourinho wants a more dynamic team. He wants a team that moves the ball quicker from back to front than it has done in the past, that can be a bit more direct, that appears to be more attacking. The big loser from the sort of switch to something that's a bit more front foot forward is Ander Herrera, player of the season last season, but can't get a sniff now.
No, I mean, absolutely. We've had lots of questions about Ander Herrera just from so many people. Just how many starts is he going to get this season? When is he going to be important? How is he going to be used if he's used? All those kinds of things covered in the Rantcast questions this week. And I suppose, we're looking at, obviously, if Matic got injured, he'd play. Presumably, if Pogba got injured, he'd play. But also, when Mourinho wants to... I'm sure the first sign of a big team coming to town, we're going to see Herrera in the side probably for Mata and 4-3-3, Mkhitaryan out wide.
Yeah, likely. And Pogba pushed forward a little bit, not that Pogba doesn't have licence. He's got plenty of licence at the moment. He is the main man in that team. For sure, Herrera's going to get plenty of games this season. Not worried about him being ostracised or anything like that. He didn't even start last season, did he? Maybe Mourinho thinks he's a slow starter or something.
This is the new Michael Carrick.
Yeah, Herrera.
Do you ever think about the fact that the old Michael Carrick is still there?
He's still going. Yeah, hasn't played this season,
it's
but
weird, isn't it?
yeah, no. I think it's fine giving him another year's contract. Mourinho's clearly expecting a lot of games, and they will once the Champions League starts. It's going to be 2 tough games a week.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so should we do some more listener questions?
Let's do it.
At Sporting Glasses says, "Hi Rantcast, am I too old to put an A1 poster of Eric Bailly on my bedroom wall? I'm 36.
Yes.
Absolutely not, Matt. Don't listen to Ed. Of course not. Eric
Poster. He said poster.
I know.
Yeah, you're too old. If it's some kind of fine art drawing, then you're okay.
No, because what you're getting wrong there, Ed, is it's Eric Bailly. That's what you're missing out on. A hero among men. There was a thread on Twitter which did tens of thousands of numbers and has been deleted because, Twitter not so good on actual abuse. But my goodness, if they find some copyright violation, they'll be all over it. But anyway, it was just a thread of Eric Bailly doing funny things. And every one of the things he did was funny. And then he bicycle kicked it into a man's face against Leicester, just to add to the funniness.
Yeah, I did see that. It was, yeah. Yes, if you're a Nazi troll, it's okay.
At Punished Frankie says, "New fan here, love the show. Now, will the international break mess with United's momentum?" Thank you, first of all, Frank, for saying nice things. And thank you to everyone that came up to me at Old Trafford and said nice things. It was so nice. It's always awesome. I'm always sad when Ed and Tom aren't there because to share the plaudits in those moments. But yeah, I think that the international break, I think it's at least good that we've got such momentum going into the international break. So I think hopefully it won't. Of course, it will mess with our momentum, but it will kind of mess with everyone's. And although Stoke away is not the easiest game, it's certainly not what it used to be, is it? So
no, they're a decent side. It's not up and at you. Sort of long ball Tony Pulis stuff anymore, is it? Mark Hughes made the mistake of becoming Stoke manager and trying to turn them into a tippy-tappy side. What's going on? Will it break momentum? Yes, it will, and it will if pretty much the whole squad is going to be away playing 2 games. And there's going to be injuries and people coming back from very long trips and stuff like that. So it does. So we might see a few changes for that Stoke game. We'll see. I don't know whether you want to talk about the international break at all. England are playing the mighty Slovakia. I think that's next Monday or Tuesday. And Malta on Friday. Awesome stuff.
But who are France playing, which is much more relevant to Man United than who England are playing? Who have we even got in the squad? Marcus Rashford. Is Phil Jones in the squad? Let's have a look.
I would think he would be, and Lingard, who Gareth Southgate likes. So they'll all be away. Lukaku will definitely be away. Zlatan will get well, he wouldn't play anyway, but
he's retired. Anyway.
He's retired, is he? Okay.
Oh, so talking of which, we nearly got through the whole show without mentioning him. Congratulations to Wayne Rooney on his excellent and very underrated England career. The only reason anyone has a go at him for his performances for England is that international football is incredibly short-termist and specific. And if you miss 4 weeks of form at the wrong moment in your career, that's it. You're deemed to be an international failure, and that's the only reason Rooney didn't succeed at the tournaments in 2006 and 10 in particular, when he was one of the best players in the world. So
Yeah, no. He's ended it as the most capped outfield player, and is that right? Or nearly that? Yeah,
number one,
the greatest goal scorer. So fine international career, just a total flop at every major international tournament bar Euro 2004.
No, not a major flop. Injured for the big ones.
Big flop, big floppy flop.
Nope, injured.
He flopped around, and he flopped around a little bit with his retirement as well. Yeah, he's been dropped anyway. Well, I'm going to retire now.
That's not what happened. That's the opposite of what happened. He retired. Southgate rang him and said, "I want to call you up for the squad."
And he went, said, "Well, you didn't want me last time, so I'm retiring. I'm taking my ball."
Not having it. Not having this unnecessary Wayne Rooney slander when there's so much necessary Rooney slander we could be indulging.
Anyway, no, look, it's good for him because he'll get more breaks, and I think he needs it. He may be 30 or 30 or 31, not sure, can't remember. But add another 4 or 5 years to that, given he started his career so early, and you get his sort of true physical age, I'd say.
Amazing what he'll do when he's playing at a team he cares about, isn't it?
Yeah, amazing that, isn't it?
I joke, of course. So Phil Jones, Chris Smalling, Jesse Lingard, Marcus Rashford, all in the England squad. Martial and Pogba in the France squad. I'd assume Lukaku's in the Belgian squad. Not guaranteed to start for Belgium, is he? Although I bet he's going to get increasingly guaranteed to start as things move on.
Yeah, and, we know Roberto Martinez likes to play a lot of attacking players, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, more questions. At @nocturnal_ego, we had a chat about this on Twitter, me and Eric did. He says, do you see Jose selling Romelu Lukaku in a couple of seasons to accommodate Marcus Rashford, assuming he keeps developing? And I have to say, my first thought about this is I don't see Jose Mourinho managing United in a couple of seasons, certainly not in 3 or 4 seasons when this actually might happen. I think it's a very unlikely turn of events.
No, if we get 3 out of him, that'll be about par for the course with Jose. So good shot at the title this season. Total meltdown next season. It'd be a bit early, wouldn't it?
Feels a bit early, but it would actually be on schedule. That's what's remarkable. Having kind of experienced the Ferguson years, when you think about what other clubs go through with their managers, it's just so weird. It all happens so quickly.
Yeah.
You just start to get used to them and they move on.
I mean, the wider question about Rashford is he going to get enough games? He's nowhere near getting a game at number 9 at the moment, although Mourinho has talked about that. So maybe there'll be times when he wants to give Lukaku a rest, although Lukaku has a very good injury record, just doesn't spend a lot of time away from the pitch. And so that's the concern, We've got a bit of a duel there, and is he going to have to spend the whole season job sharing on the left wing?
Yes, is the answer to that question. Job sharing on the left wing and backing up at number 9. That's his role in the squad. And, it's fine now, but there is an issue. Long term, there's an issue about Rashford's development and Lukaku's presence. But there's also lots of good to it. At Charlnado, friend of the show, says, who's got a stronger right hook, Floyd or Fellaini when he celebrates? I assume he means the boxer Floyd Mayweather, who is definitely a boxing man.
Yes.
I know a lot about boxing.
Other than the clown he was fighting, I watched it, and since I'm on the West Coast and the time zones work and I didn't have to stay up till 3 a.m. or whatever, it would have been in the UK. More was like it 6 a.m.
Good top quality punchy punch?
No. I'm not going to claim to be any kind of boxing expert at all. But one guy looked very good, and the other guy looked like they just dragged him in off the streets to do some bare knuckle fighting.
And I'm assuming the one that won was the good one, right?
Look, they're both 2 pretty detestable people. So watching them get punched was always good fun, but. I guess it wasn't serious, was it? But they all made a lot of money out of it, apparently.
Yeah. By the way, you say they're 2 detestable people, which brings us to the subject of political correctness, which no doubt we'll come back to in the future. But just wanted to shout out the guy who put on Twitter that the Rantcast is good if you like your football opinions direct from the Frankfurt School of Cultural Marxism. And I think he meant it as an insult.
I think he did. Yeah. I was like, oh God, shall I tweet something back about Cheetos and all that, We're going to get into that
I just
nonsense.
thought, I mean, it's not accurate, but I will take that as an insult. Like, that is fine. I'm not too bad about that. At Kev de Rothschild says, this would be one of my favourite title wins if we go on to win it, which, by the way, I completely agree. Obviously, I'm sure lots of United fans would feel that way. But he also says, do you have a favourite title and where would this one rank if we win it? So this would definitely be one of my favourites if we win it. Some of they're all good. You love all the title wins, right? 12-13 was obviously absolutely incredible because of the nature of it, because of like what it led to in terms of like the fact that it was Fergie's last and we won it. That was great, and we'd lost it in such brutal fashion the season earlier. Loads like the 90s ones, I love them all equally, really. I think we talked on about the 95-96 season on the Patreon backers a little while ago. Is it 95-96 or 96-97?
Yeah, 95-96 double winning season after having been, having had it stolen off us by the FA the year before. Also, Aguero punching the steward, he should get like a 25 match ban for that.
Nah, come on, listen. That's not fair. That was bad what Bournemouth said. It was bad.
Apparently Stewart's withdrawn his complaint, so he should. Pathetic. The first one I think might still be my favourite. So just because of how long it took to get there and the intensity of the end of the season. Yeah,
I mean, I'd like to give an honourable mention to 2006-2007 as well. Like, Mourinho, are you listening? You better keep a trophy glistening, because we'll be back in May to take it away. Walking in a Fergie Wonderland. That was that season. It was good, because we did come back in May, and we did indeed take it away. Now he can stay around and win it in May, and that'd be lovely. All right, at DJ N Perry says, why can't we play Rashford right and Martial left? And I think that is a great question.
Could do, yeah. I guess Jose likes matters control with the ball. You have a lot of players running at people all the time, you're going to lose the ball a fair bit. But could do. Why not? Against teams where you definitely want to push their fullbacks back, and you want a couple of pacey players there, then it's a good option.
At Andy United says, isn't it annoying that videos on social media have unskippable adverts in the middle of them? Also, is Jones our best centre-back? I'd say yes, and it's close. Jones and Bailly, it's close.
Yeah, yes, video ads, always very annoying, but that is how the internet is funded. Except for this here show, which is funded by you people, or at least some of you, the cool ones. Is Jones our best centre-back? Well, on form, he's a top-quality player, always has been, and fit. And that's the major problem.
All right, 2 more questions. Friend of the show, Mary, says, if someone put a gun to your head and forced you to choose between Rashford or Martial to start, who would you choose?
Well, I mean, look, a gun to your head. Normally it's like, where's my money? Where did you hide the cocaine? Not pick Martial or Rashford for the left wing.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, thank God. That is way, way easier than what I thought was about to happen. I'll pick Martial, cheers.
Bang, wrong answer. God, how can you not pick the local lad? Disgraceful. What, isn't it, it depends on which position?
You can't tell a man with a gun to your head, it depends.
Yeah, well, you can say, hey, mate, well, slow down just a little bit. Slow down before you put a bullet through my brain, let me tell you where the coke's hidden.
It's just over there.
Yeah, he's got it. It was Rooney what done it. B, are you playing 4-3-3? Is it a 4-2, 4-4-2? Is it for the left wing or is it up front? Are you trying to play on the break a little more or keep control of the ball? Do you want someone who's able to cover the fullback or is attacking more important? These are all crucial questions.
All right, so the prerequisite, the kind of pre-assumptions here are 4-2-3-1 at home against a team who you expect to finish 8th or below in the Premier League with the rest of the team exactly as it was yesterday. Do you pick Martial?
Right, so who's playing on the left wing?
Yeah, exactly.
No, you pick Martial.
Right, there we go. I think that seems to me to be the correct answer. All right, I think this is a fun game. At L_non-pare, Simba asks, over under 18.5 Premier League starts this season for the following players. So the line is 18.5. So if you think it's 19 or over, you say over. If you think it's 18 or under, you say under. Under. Over or under for under?
Over.
Over 18.5 Premier League starts. You think he's going to get 19 starts in the Premier League this season?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take the under for sure. Martial.
Over.
Yeah, I'll take the over as well. Rashford.
Over.
He's just taking the under. I've got one now. No, there's some with under coming. I take the over there as well, actually. So I've got under, over. Luke Shaw. Under. Yeah, because
he's never fit.
And it's going to be a while till he comes back, because 19 games only half the season, isn't it? Even if he plays every single game after he comes back, it might not get there. Jones, obviously under, because biscuits for legs.
I'll go with over. He seems solid.
Oh, nice.
He's been taking his, whatever supplements they give him, totally legal ones, and he's fit.
Victor Lindelof.
Under.
Okay. Yeah, I think we agree about everyone except Herrera, who you think is going to get over 19 starts this season.
Yeah, I think he'll play in all the big games.
I feel like we don't have 19 big games in the Premier League.
Well, look, like against the top 6 or 7, include Everton in there.
Okay, so that's
14
12.
For a start. So
12 games.
12.
Yeah, because we're one of the top 7.
We'll play ourselves twice. Training counts.
So 12 starts.
And we'll find another 6 from rotation and stuff like that. No problem.
Okay. At La False number 12, friend of the site, says, have you ever related steel to eco-friendly? Cristiano Ronaldo's team tweeting, you may never have related steel to eco-friendly.
I always did. I don't know. I mean, singing to the choir there, mate.
He says, that's why I've partnered with Egypt Steel. It's like, that's not why. That is literally not why you have partnered with Egypt Steel. It was the upside down pyramid full of money they dropped at your door.
Yeah. Well, he's got to pay his tax bill, hasn't he? So he needs to work.
At Manred80, whose question we've answered, but I just love his name so much, says, despite the win, don't you think United still need a winger and better fullbacks? Valencia and Blint wasted space with poor crosses. They definitely wasted good opportunities. I thought particularly Valencia, but that might be #agenda, just because I like Daley Blint.
I think the problem is, Blint needs to shave his head. Because then he won't be worried so much about ruffling the hairstyle up if he needs to run a bit faster.
All right, talking of running fast, I have this theory, right, that I just need to I've got a platform to share this theory. Juan Mata is actually fast. It's just he only has tiny little legs. So
well, then he's not fast, is he? Those tiny little legs are moving. It's just they're not carrying him anywhere.
Exactly. Like his legs move at the pace of a fast man's legs, but they're only little. Talking of which, Usain Bolt was at the game. Nice to see.
First United game he'd been at in like 5 years or so.
Yeah, well, I think he was boycotting.
Part-time fan.
While we weren't signing the creative midfielder he needed us to sign. I feel bad. I'm letting down. At Adnan on MUFC says, thoughts on the new Taylor Swift single? I've not listened to it yet. I hear it's terrible. Very disappointing from T Swift.
It's not a banger. I feel like we should end the show with one of T Swift's Tay-Tay's country bangers, shouldn't we?
No, I'm a fan of the early pop era, to be fair.
Yeah. No, this is wandering into Patreon territory where we'll do half an hour on Taylor Swift's back catalogue.
No, next week.
I went into a bar yesterday, sort of new bar that's trying to be sort of hip and trendy, although not quite in the right part of town for that. And dude walks in with a Taylor Swift T-shirt on. I was like, is that ironically hipster or is he just a fan? It's hard to tell.
I feel like you can walk the line with both. I think that's kind of reasonable nowadays. You can kind of do both at once. We had a question about Ander Herrera that also mentioned Andreas Pereira, and once again I had forgotten about the existence of Andreas Pereira. It keeps happening.
He needs to go online. He's just not going to get any games. So.
But you don't want him to go back to La Liga for a season, do you? Like, don't we want him like a Premier League loan if he has a loan?
Yeah.
I think we should like use him to make sure it's someone that hasn't played Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool yet. You know, do what Chelsea do, cheat. We've already given Timothy Fosu-Mensah, who would appear to be Crystal Palace's best player. Like, he did this tweet yesterday, like, oh, sorry about the result, because obviously Palace have been terrible so far. There's loads of people in the replies, Palace fans, going, it's not your fault, mate, you're brilliant. And I'm like, oh, nice. That's what we like to see. They appreciate it.
Yeah. Interesting this week, City Football Group announced purchase of Girona in Spain, who are actually in La Liga at the moment. So it's quite a high-profile one. So it's going to be 50% owned by City Football Group, 50% owned by Pep Guardiola's brother.
Do you think Pep Guardiola's brother is walking around going, my Girona?
Yeah, he's carrying bags of money, Qatari money, I would suggest. Oh, Abu Dhabi money. Sorry, get my oil state right there.
Listen, it's not okay. Right. I think that'll do. We're going to do a show during the international break because it just seems ridiculous to take a break from the Rantcast already, doesn't it? And we've got to preview that Stoke game in forensic detail.
Yeah, as we always do. Yeah, no, we will do. I mean, there's some top quality international football to look forward to, and England versus Malta and Slovakia. At France, I didn't work out who they're playing.
The Netherlands.
Spain versus Italy. Playing Netherlands, that could be tasty. You know, not a great Dutch side at the moment. And Spain versus Italy should be good as well.
Yeah, absolutely. France are playing the Netherlands and Luxembourg, and I think that Paul Pogba might score 1 million goals against Luxembourg.
And so long as he doesn't come back injured.
Yeah, absolutely. Oof, don't even want to think about it. All right, everyone, cross your fingers and toes for the next week so we can get all the lads back in one piece and get the momentum up and running again when we visit the fortress of football that is Darren Fletcher's Stoke City. And we'll be back to talk about that next week.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.